JJ the CPA here, hope you're doing well. So the advance child tax credit, the biggest thing I want you to know is that if you received that amount from the IRS last year, you want to be sure that you're reporting that on your 21 tax return. Now, you should have gotten a letter by now from the IRS. It's a letter 6419. And both spouses, if this is your circumstances, are going to get the letter. And the amount in each letter is, in essence, what you need to report on the tax return. So if the spouse got one letter saying $1,500 and the other spouse got a letter saying $1,500 was received on the advanced child tax credit, then you're going to report the combined amount of $3,000. Now, it was possible that one of the spouses could have elected out of it and the other one didn't. So it is possible that the letters don't have the same amounts. So with that being said, long story short, whatever's on those letters, the total amount of both letters for married filing jointly is going to be reported on the tax return. Then also, when you go to do your input, there is a section on the letter that tells you what the IRS was using in terms of the number of dependents in determining your credit. So you enter that into your input. Here's the amount that one spouse got. Here's the amount the other spouse got. Here's the number of dependents the IRS was using to determine these amounts on each letter. And then it flows through. Now, the one thing I want to go one step further, I'm going to give you links to where the IRS talks about this, some FAQs. I know there's a lot of questions out there related to this. And the IRS has done a phenomenal job with providing a tremendous number of FAQs. So I would almost recommend to you, you don't really need to go to any other source other than directly to the source, which is the IRS. The link in the body taking you directly to the IRS that's going to answer your questions. You just have to take a minute. It is better than watching another video or reading another article. It's just go to the IRS. But it's going to be all, in essence, reported on Form 8812. And there is, in essence, the possibility that you may have to pay some of this back. There is the possibility that you qualify for more, meaning the tax credit that you got in advance was maximum half of the eligible tax credit for dependents. So for 5 and under, your dependent, it was $3,600 per dependent in 21. In 21, age 6 to 18, yes, to age 18 or under, then it's $3,000. So with that being said, you got up to half of that. You qualify potentially for the other half. Now, if you have to repay it, the potential amount that you have to repay would be what you got in advance. There is a protection of up to $2,000 of what doesn't need to get paid back, but there could be that, in essence, you're not getting the credit that you received. So there's going to be an adjustment on your tax return. And here's what you need to know. You should have software that's just taking care of this, but you want to make sure that you understand, did it get put in properly? The way that you know is on Form 8812, right at the top. Take a look at it. Follow it through. It's written in English. I'm going to give you the link to the IRS FAQs. And then where you see it pop out on your Form 1040 would be on line 19 of Form 1040, or there's a refundable amount regular for the child tax credit, and that's on line 28. Now, if you didn't get your letter or you're not sure that the amount on the letter is correct, you can go into the portal on the IRS website, which I'm going to give you a link to as well. I mean, you can go to irs.gov and you're going to find this stuff, Bigger in Texas, right there. Your link to the FAQs as well as the link to the portal to go. And what the IRS indicates is that if your letter seems incorrect and you log into your portal and the portal has a different amount, that you would use the portal amount. Now, I'm just going to tell you this. If you didn't get the letter, you don't have the portal, if you got an amount, that's what you need to report. So don't get caught up on, well, I didn't get the letter, so I don't have to report anything wrong. You got to still report what it is that you received for the advanced child tax credit. Just make sure that you're not mistaking it for the third economic impact payment. Don't mistake this for that third stimulus payment. Don't mistake it for this, because that comes on a different letter, and that's letter 6475. And I'm going to give you a link to a video that I've done on that as well. So with that being said, those that have a modified adjusted gross income, single 40,000 or less, head of household 50,000 or less, jointly 60,000 or less, you don't have to pay anything back if for some reason you don't qualify for what you got in advance. So there's a low income, if you will. That's what they're calling it, a low income kind of exemption to having to pay some of this back. So bottom line is, both spouses should have got the letter. If you're a single parent and there's just one of you, well, then of course you just got the one, meaning you're head of household and you're single, there's just going to be the one letter. If you have an ex or you got divorced, I'm telling you right now, go to the FAQs. They're listed there. Go check it out. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Have a great one.
American CPA.